I'm Ashton Addison from Blockwest Capital for Investment Pitch Media and the Crypto Coin Show. And today on Blockchain Interviews with Igor Plusa, the CMO and co-founder of Game Lounge. Igor, welcome to the show, and thank you so much for taking the time to come here today.
Hello, Ashton. Pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting me and having me here today. It's a real pleasure to me.
You're very welcome. Let's dive into the world of metaverses, virtual worlds, customizable to whichever way you would like. And Game Lounge is specifically customizing a metaverse virtual reality that is particularly interesting because you really can customize it to however you like, from what I understand. But let's start our conversation off, Igor, with just talking a little bit about Game Lounge, a high-level overview of the platform and what your team is working on, and then we'll dive into the details.
Okay, sure. That sounds good to me. Basically, what is Game Lounge? Game Lounge is another metaverse, but as I say, it's not yet another metaverse. Because we have a slightly different focus than most of the people working in the metaverse industry. Because we are focusing strongly on the personality of the player, his hobbies, his likings, instead of providing another open world sandbox type experience. So we are doing this by introducing two core ideas that sum up into those lounges that are included in the name of the project, with two types of the lounges coming, private and public ones. The private ones will be of the most interest to the players, I think, because basically they will serve as a kind of let's say gaming cave inside the metaverse, like a starting point for all metaverse inhabitants. And then the public ones, once you are feeling social and want to meet some people, then the public lounges will be the place to be for you, since they will be open to anyone in most of the cases, so that you can go there anytime you want. And just meet with your friends there or meet with new people. Mm-hmm. This is like the core concept. I guess we can sum it up by saying that we are focusing strongly on the social aspect of the metaverse. In future, this is going to turn into a kind of social media gaming platform inside the metaverse.
Mm-hmm. Great, thank you for the intro, Igor. And so there's the public metaverses, and then there's the private, and you mentioned a focus on social. I feel like because metaverses, in the way that your team is developing it, they really can be customized to infinite possibilities, anti-gravity, mm-hmm. underwater, who knows? But when I first think of, a game lounge or like a lounge, I'm thinking like an airport lounge or like just a building where you can just go chill and talk to people. Maybe you can elaborate on the features and the functionalities of the private and the public metaverse, and is it just chilling, or is there a lot of fun and cool and interesting things that you can potentially do inside of the metaverse?
There's actually quite a lot of stuff that we have in our minds for that, but let's start with the basics. So once the player gets his hands on his first lounge NFT, because all of the lounges will be minted as NFTs, they will come in all different shapes and sizes, and their rarity will depend on those features. But each of those lounges, private lounges, will offer a set amount of activities or features that will be available to anyone. Of course, the first and one of the most important ones is simply gaming. But gaming is not the only focus in the Game Lounge, although the name suggests so. but we are creating a bunch of, let's say, bar games or board games that can be played with your friends once they come into your launch. And once they come into your launch, you can boast your NFT collection, which is also one of the important aspects, because you can display the NFTs that you own on the walls of your room. You can arrange it any way you want. Those can be like simple pictures, JPG pictures, hanging like paintings on the walls. But also if you happen to own any 3D objects from some games, maybe, there will be also special stands for that. And if you're more into music NFTs, we also have a cool feature of this music player, so that you can upload music you own and play it as well to your friends. Of course, all the games that I mentioned before will be most likely kicking off with pool, darts, and chess for the players to start. They will be all created in a play-to-earn model, so that you can not only chill with your friends, but while doing so, you can also earn money. So imagine going to a pub with your friends, and instead of paying for everything, you actually are being paid. So this is also a quite cool feature of that. And on top of that, we also have this meta ad spot. Basically, as the name suggests, it's a space where you can display advertisements. Each of the rooms will have a set amount of such meta ad spots. And what is cool about that, that they will be generating a passive income for the owner, which is also an important aspect to many people into blockchain gaming. And then we move on to the public lounges. And with the public lounges, this is where the magic happens, let's say. This is where the most important aspects, most important and interesting features will be available. Because instead of giving you a sandbox in which you can on your own build everything, we can do that. But we are planning to create like bespoke lounges for different projects, companies, KOLs, influencers, and they have a multitude of ways that they can become useful. Basically, those will become like a place for community engagement for a specific project or a company. I will give you an example. One of our partners are Synapse Network and Moonstarter, the launchpad. And for them, we are going to create a special launchpad lounge. It kills me to say it. Launchpad lounge. But yeah, that's the idea. And for this type of lounges, we will create very special features not available in the other lounges. You can think about a huge IDO calendar hanging on the wall, in which you will be able to see what events are going to happen on the launchpad in the coming days. You will have different news feeds on the walls with information about the performance of the projects that have already been launched on the platform. And like the end game idea for that is that the players will be able to actually sign up for the whitelist or for an airdrop through the game. So while being in the public launch of Moonstarter, you will be able to participate and sign up for all the launches happening in the coming weeks. There's so much more to this, and we have so many ideas that if I were to speak about all of them, I guess this would take around 2 hours at least. So maybe let me stop here, and for more information, you can always visit our channel. We're always there and happy to chat with you and explain everything.
Thank you, Igor. Yeah, there's a lot going on. And from what I understand, reading the documentation, the metaverse is built with Unreal Engine technology to help build the 3D world. Can you talk exactly about where the platform's at right now? Are the private and the public lounges live, or are you in test mode?
Of course. We are one of the few projects that is using the Unreal Engine 5 tech, which is like the cutting edge of game design at this moment. We are very proud of that because being one of the few projects, we are also the one that has already a working demo, a working product. It's not much. It's a very simple demo. Yet we were able to introduce it, to open it for the public, and in the coming weeks, actually this week, we are going to have first in-game events happening on the platform. So stay tuned for the announcement on our channel. And as for the further development, in Q2, we would like to introduce like a beta version of the first beta version, let's say maybe alpha version. I'm not really good with this, with all those names, but like a first version that will allow you to actually invite all your friends into the launch, because right now it's more like a single player mode. But then by Q2, we want to roll out a first version that will be usable for multiplayer as well. And what's important, and I would like to state it, is that the game, as of now, is available on a website. You can play it through your website, but the end product is going to be released as a desktop app. And then on the roadmap, we also have this VR implementation as well.
Very cool. Looking forward to the multiplayer version, and great to hear that the single player is already out and testable as well. Igor, thank you for that. And now you mentioned at the beginning that the lounges and the properties are like NFTs. Can people already buy these NFTs, or how do they get access to that, and how does that work?
We are working on this right now. We already have some contests going on our Discord, so that people can win the first set of lounges. They are not yet minted, so it's like a winning, let's say, a whitelist spot for them. But yeah, we already have some people want the lounges. And I encourage you to join our Discord server, because basically almost every day of the week there is a chance to win something, which is also really cool for us. As for the, let's say, public mint, it's most likely going to happen around mid or second half of March. There will be a first set of lounges made available for the public sale. They will be called the OG lounges, and they will have some unique features compared to any future ones that will appear on the market, because they will have like a non-standard amount of, for example, meta ad spots and gaming stations inside. So they will be able to provide more profit actually for the owner. Also, we have some cool unique NFTs coming for the early supporters, but I won't say much more about this at this point.
Cool, thank you for that, and definitely, yeah, check out the socials to get access to the OG lounges there. I will definitely do that, Igor. And one other thing I wanted to ask you about as well is the native token that's integrated into the platform. I saw that there's a GLT token for the game lounge. How does that provide value in the ecosystem, and does it is it sustainable for the long term for Game Lounge?
When we thought about Game Lounge, one of the first problems that we tackled is the very common problem with blockchain gaming that many projects can't really figure out because like their only source of income comes from the token itself. So, all of us, basically the whole team comes from real business, and we understand the importance of revenue. Yes. Mm-hmm. Everyone is doing this for the profit, obviously, and we are going to share this profit with the community via different revenue streams as well. But we have designed the whole ecosystem of game launch having that in mind, that this is important to have this revenue streams and how to generate this added value so that it's worth it to hold the token. So like one of the main, because the GLT will be the very foundation of the ecosystem. It will be used basically for all the transactions inside of the game, etc. But what is important is that any partner, any company or project that is going to have a public launch inside our metaverse, to actually make this launch open, they will have to stake a specified amount of GLT. So once we create the launch for them, and they stake this amount of token, it will become available to the public. And then once they, for example, if they're happy and they're happy with what is happening inside their launch, that they get this feeling that it really helps the community engagement, they are going to, of course, take the token further. What happens if they decide not to continue? If they unstake the token, it becomes closed for a time. We are not going to delete it. It's still going to be there on the game servers. But to make it open again, they will have to restake the token. So basically, the more partnerships we will be able to get, and we are working hard on this because this is like the main part of our game plan, of our business plan. Yep. So the more partners we get, the more value the token will have. And this is very important for us from the business perspective.
Definitely. Thank you for explaining the token and how that ties into the lounges as well. I think it's very important to know. For the viewers that are looking to follow along with the lead up to the multiplayer alpha and for the NFT drops and for everything, what is the best way for them to stay on top of the news as your team is releasing it and to get involved with the Game Launch communities?
The best place to be is our Discord server. Is the most active place. Basically, all of the cool stuff is happening there. Most of the competitions, we have some like Discord exclusive competitions. Everything that happens around the game launch is also heavily discussed on the Discord server. We have a dev diary with all the updates coming from our dev team on a regular basis. We have a Medium channel covering all the important stuff that we want to explain better to the community. And beside that, we are almost always on Discord. Sometimes we are sleeping, I have to admit. But beside that, we are almost always there, happy to answer all the questions coming from the community, because I know that we don't want to, let's say, overpromise in the docs that we are publishing. We have a lot of ideas coming. We are talking about them in a podcast like this, in AMAs, but this is not like something specifically said on the website. So if you have more questions about our ideas for the launch, for the future of the launch, Discord is the place to be.
Great. Thank you so much, Igor. I will leave those links in the description box as well for the viewers. All the best with everything moving forward with Game Lounge, and let's follow up in the near future.
Cool. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for the questions. And I hope we can meet again in future once the full product is released.